Finally, we're here in River Valley, one of my favorite spots on the North Island, and today we are going to do their main star activity, whitewater rafting.
It's our first day here at River Valley Lodge and we're jumping straight onto their famous whitewater rafting trip. So after a quick briefing from the guys, we are getting geared up with all the equipment we need to keep us warm.
Laura is about to leap onto the bus. I don't know this person. I don't know who she is.
Now that we're all in the bus, we are making our way to our launch point at the river because the end point of our trip is literally going to be the lodge.
The guides start unloading stacks and stacks of rafts for about 20 rafters that are going to be hitting the river this morning. We're giving a bit of a safety briefing before making the most fun way down to the river, which is sliding down the riverbanks. From the get-go, it's pretty obvious that our guides are super quirky and super banterful, and they're getting us to do lots of really nonsensical things from the start, like crashing into walls and even flipping our rafts over for apparently no reason.
Actually, there is a reason why we are flipping so early in the trip. It's to practice, because flipping happens really often when whitewater rafting, and we need to be able to know the procedure to get everybody back on board safely and keep on going with our trip along the river. The Rangitikei River is actually one of New Zealand's longest rivers at 185 kilometers. We're obviously not going to be rafting all the way, but we're going to have a lot of fun in this really rapid-filled section. Because the rapids are not too huge, it gives us plenty of opportunity to have a lot of fun on the river, and that's really what the theme of this tour is. It's all about having a blast while whitewater rafting. There is no epic drops or anything like that, it's just all about good old fun. And you guys know by now that whitewater rafting is all about teamwork and putting crazy faces like Laura does. So it's time for me to introduce our team. Our captain is Kirk. He's going to be our raft guide today. He's from the US and has experienced whitewater rafting in so many different rivers. We feel in definitely safe hand with him. We also have CJ, Lisa and Craig, which are going to be joining us for this trip. They are all tourists like we are and are in for an awesome time.
The section of the Rangitikei River that we're doing today is about 12 kilometers long, and it's like it's been designed for whitewater rafting for the very first time. It starts off with grades 2 to 3 rapids, which are pretty cruisy, but they still have the bit of the adrenaline factor which gets your heart pumping. And then it moves on to the grade 4s and grade 5s, which are the big epic rapids with lots of technical maneuvers. What's really cool about the rapids of this river as well is just how various they are. Some of them are super short, sharp shoots which only last a couple of moments, while other rapids go on for ages, lasting hundreds of meters. Once we get down a section of major rapids and our hearts can start beating normally again, we reach sections of the river which are super calm and we can start embracing the views, and Kirk is giving us the permission to jump out and go rafting on our bodies.
Jumping up the raft is a lot of fun, but the next rapid is just around the corner, so we get back into the action. On top of the awesome rapids, the scenery surrounding us are absolutely astonishing. And this is because we are actually on the edge of the Ruaine Forest Park, which is one of the protected areas of the North Island, harboring a lot of native plants and native wildlife. And Kirk takes the time to tell us a lot about that at every single opportunity he has during the slow section of the rapids. But one of the things that I like the most about whitewater rafting is the action, and honestly, the River Valley whitewater rafting is seriously action-packed. There is almost no time when we have more than 10 minutes without massive rapids to tackle. It's a lot of fun, and the tour is not short either. It takes just 2 to 3 hours to make it all the way down back to the river lodge. But we're really lucky, our team is actually awesome, and the fact that we actually have 5 customers and 1 guide in the raft gives us the perfect opportunity to work as a team. It's not too many people and it's not too little either. It's just the perfect number.
Towards the end of our trip, and when we've made it down the last few rapids, we get the time to actually just play with the river and start surfing the rapids we've just rafted down. We also get the time to soak in the amazing scenery of the Rangitikei River, which actually part of this river was used during the filming of The Lord of the Rings as the Anduin River, and you can really tell that this picturesque place is a perfect movie filming location. Before each rapid, our guide tells us how we're going to approach that rapid and what maneuvers we're going to have to do. And he also tells us the crazy names for each of the rapids. For instance, we go through a section called the Narrows, and then it's onto the Long Drop, the Slip, Max's Drop, and our favourite, Pinball Canyon. As the name suggests, and as you can see from my face, Pinball Canyon is pretty crazy as we are bouncing off the gorge walls from one side to the other, being thrown left and right on our rafts. It's totally insane.
For you guys planning a trip in the Manawatu region or on the way up or down of Wellington, you can definitely stop at River Valley any time of the year. It's one of the rare whitewater rafting trips which is actually available all year round, which is really cool. The Rangitikei River is world famous for trout fishing as well as whitewater rafting. There is heaps of tools to go fishing alongside the riverbanks and catch a fresh fish for dinner. But whitewater rafting is really the most popular activity here, with over 4,000 people tackling the river every year. And we can definitely see why, because this trip is a lot of fun. There is heaps of rapid, makes you pull the craziest faces, but it's definitely accessible for even the beginners because the river doesn't get too crazy at any point of the year. Plus, it's a really safe trip as well. After all, we got heaps of equipment to keep us afloat. We've got wetsuit, we got helmet, we got life jacket, we got booties, we got fleece top, we got paddle jackets, and we even get the wooden paddles which are floating too. As our trip is coming to an end and we haven't flipped at all despite practicing before, Kirk is making sure that we actually do flip and is running us through the wall. Oh my god, this flip was epic!
After 254 days, we finally lost our rafting flipping virginity. No, it's finally happened. But that marks the end of our trip, where we are coming back to the River Valley Lodge and helping load the rafts back into their places. That was an awesome day here in River Valley.